everyone. My name is Melissa Latour. I am the Executive Director for the Homegrown Music Festival. How I became involved with the festival, the first year at the North Shore Theater, I was dating somebody that was performing during the festival, and I was later hanging out while they were packing up their stuff. And I picked up a couple beer cans, tossed them in the trash, helped with cleanup a little bit. And then the following year, when Homegrown came back, I started my volunteer career with Homegrown. And I did that for a few years before I became a venue manager. In that role, I oversaw a couple of volunteers at a specific venue to make sure everything went off well. And then later on, when Walt Dizzo was named director of the festival, I decided to apply for the volunteer coordinator position. I was given that role and did it for 5 years, right alongside Walt Dizzo for his 5-year directorship, and was the longest running volunteer coordinator in Homegrown's history. I decided to apply for Walt's position when he stepped down and became the director when he retired, and am entering my 5th year right now, tied with Walt for the executive director role. A few things that I do in my current role: I oversee the timeline with the festival. I work with the other directors, like the production manager, the technology director, my assistant director, volunteer coordinator, and assistant volunteer coordinator, as well as the other committee members, to make sure the different elements within the timeline go off without a hitch. There's also a publication manager that we have that puts together the field guide. The Homegrown Field Guide is the know-all, do-all magazine that goes along with the festival proper. It gives the schedule as well as band bios. It goes over different ads from our venues and sponsors. And there's some fun puzzles usually in there, some highlights. And if you're underage, have no fear. We also have underage venues where they're at either non-alcoholic establishments or bars where there is an all-age access and people can go and still enjoy the music and not be turned away because of their age. One of the things that I've been trying to focus on is keeping the spirit of Homegrown alive throughout the year, whether that be through attending different events and supporting different local performers, artists, venues, when the festival is in hibernation, so to speak, but also through partnerships with different organizations to put on other events that feature local music. An example of that would be our partnership in the past with Greater Downtown Council, where we did Music in the Heart, and that was located at Gitio de Aquin, where we brought in a different band each week for the 5 weeks of August, and they would perform against this beautiful backdrop of Lake Superior, and people could come down after work and have a beverage or a snack by a few of the local vendors that we would have on site. We've also done some ancillary events, the Winter Fiasco, which happens in January, and with that, we sometimes will highlight new artists as well as maybe some reunited artists and some current artists, where it's kind of a precursor to Homegrown. People can get out there and shake the cabin fever a little bit, which we know we are all suffering from. This year will look a little different, obviously, with the pandemic and COVID-19 still out of control. We've decided to go virtual for this fiasco and hope that you choose to attend. And we also have different subcommittees on the festival. One of the one of my favorite events that has happened has been the Children's Music Showcase, which started out as a very small event that we knew was going to be well attended, but we had no idea how well it would go over. And it grew out of several different venues, and most recently had happened at the Great Lakes Aquarium, the zoo. We were slotted to have one at the library this past year. However, the pandemic changed the plans of that a little bit. And we also have done different things with the pandemic to make it somewhat fun. Brian Barber did a online drawing thing last year where the kids and adults alike could go on. He had a little channel and he would feature a different animal or item each week to draw. Examples would be like a frog and a crocodile and a chicken. And some of my favorite memories have been around the different ancillary events within our festival proper, like our kickball game has been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of secret shows pop up. Sometimes bands will take over the trolley unscheduled and hop on there, and it turns into a big sing-along. We've had people pop up in alleys to perform. There have been some after-hour parties that have been pretty memorable, as you can imagine. And then sometimes those early morning or not so early morning brunches. Closing day has always been great because it's when the team gets together that we're producing the festival and we can all go and relax and kind of take into some music ourselves. A lot of times during the festival, we're so busy running around putting the show on that we'll catch little snippets of the festival, but we do miss a lot of it because we're working and committed to putting that production on. So it's great to be able to pull the team in together and appreciate them in a relaxed atmosphere for the last couple of hours of the festival as it winds down on closing Sunday. A few of the fun publicity things that we've seen happen. There have been some great little great galleries that have put on things like Prove, where there have been some different turn this person into a chicken contest. That's been a lot of fun. There's also been some different materials like t-shirts that have come up that venues have put up for us in the spirit of Homegrown. There's been even a beer that was labeled with the Homegrown Chris Monroe chicken to support the festival out there. And it's really great to see the community come together and think of innovative, creative ways to support us and the artists. So one other thing that I would like to point out to everybody out there while you're listening is to please, please try to support artists and venues as much as you can. Right now with us in the pandemic, we're seeing a lot of the venues with their doors completely closed. We're seeing a lot of venues that are only doing takeout and delivery. And that's great that the venues are able to do that. However, we still want to make sure that that's enough support. So, buy your gift cards, buy your takeout from these local restaurants and bars so that we can support them. Also, please wear a mask and follow the health and safety guidelines. It's so, so important that we nip this pandemic in the bud and get it under control so that things can get back to some sort of normal again. We want to be able to hang out with our friends and have a drink or have a seltzer, have a dinner or whatever it is that we want to do. Listen to the bands perform and have that fun that we're all used to and that we all miss incredibly, but we can't do it if we don't get things under control. Some things that we will be announcing that are festival related will be coming through our website, so that's a great place to check, www.duluthhomegrown.org, and that will have anything from festival proper to other ancillary events coming up. If we have any kind of announcements, any kind of little ancillary things that we're planning, like the fiasco, all of that stuff will be listed on the website, as well as other social media outlets. We do send out press releases and things as well to notify the media and the public. We're very thankful for our many media outlets that have covered us over the years, as well as our photographers, and many of them are out there on the front lines getting those band shots and those volunteer shots and the production shots that we otherwise wouldn't see because we're so busy running around. We also do work with a lot of different departments within our city. The city has been gracious to get us space where we can have our Chicken Shack, which is our festival week setup headquarters, and they've usually given us a really nice supportive deal to be able to come in and clean up a little bit in a vacant area and set up temporary headquarters where we do all of our accounting type festivals, ticketing, meetings, safety meetings, anything operational related. We usually do it there. And then we also have worked directly with the fire department and the police department to ensure safety when we've used performers such as fire spinners or, just to make sure that we have the safety in place for the public as they're coming and going from the festival. So next time you're out and about and you're catching a band or you're in a venue, make sure you thank those people. If you're out at our events and you see the volunteers working the front lines, please take a moment to thank them for being out there and getting your wristband to you and directing you to where the trolley is coming up next. We want to make sure that we're giving the people that are working there, sweating to the bands, some good thank yous and praise for the work that they do. Production, same thing. If you see the sound guy behind the boards and he's working hard and making sure that band is sounding fabulous, don't forget to, just give them a, hey, thanks for doing that. They really appreciate that. And when you're out and about and, there's 5,000 or more people that are coming and going at this event, plus the people that work it, the people that are sweating out there don't always get to hear it. So that would be great if you could do that. And I thank you for listening to my little homegrown speak. And I look forward to seeing you out there, both virtually and hopefully in person very, very soon. Thank you.
Lost in you too. I'm lying awake on the couch, oh, but that television blue. Out on the town doing God knows what with God knows who. It's gonna take a grown man, takes a grown man to let you go. Sleepless nights in the city by the sea. Get what you know. It's gonna take a grown man, takes a grown man to let you go. But I'm nothing but a child wearing a grown man's clothes. Fresh ink of love fed over time. I'm lying awake on the floor, oh, but that ceiling fan goes round and round. You got to change it, baby. Take a heart just to give it back the way you found it. It's gonna take a grown man, takes a grown man to let you go. Sleepless nights in the city by the sea. Yep, but you know it's gonna take a grown man, takes a grown man to let you go. But I'm nothing but a child. Where
All right, I am here with Mariah Sky of the Sordid Affairs. Can you tell us a bit about what your band has going on now, any projects for the future, or how you guys have been dealing with the pandemic and lack of performances?
Well, for the time being, we're sort of on a little bit of a hiatus just because Sammy, my drummer, a good friend, is out of state currently for about maybe the next 6 months. So, yeah, we've just taking a little break from it. We still plan on releasing new material in the future. And, yeah, we actually just released an album well, it's not just, but back in March. Sapphic Wet Dream. It's just a like 40-minute full-length album. Yeah, bit of everything.
Excellent. So what would you say as far as your guitar playing, your influences are? You've been getting to be known as, for tearing up the frets around here, so.
I probably, well, I wouldn't say I'd tear them up. I'm, kind of Jimi Hendrix, lover, not a fighter on the fretboard. But, I mean, the man burned a guitar too, so, but
True.
Take it with a grain of salt. But, Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath, I mean, is probably the first big love. I already said Jimi Hendrix. Even though I don't really like the music, Van Halen was always like just because the dude could play. And more recently, as you can see, I have a bass here and a guitar. I've been listening to a lot of Thundercat, a lot of Fela Kuti, and just like very rhythmic based music, more than melodic based stuff. I guess would be. Yeah.
Is the bass something you picked up after you'd been playing guitar for a while, or would that?
So in college, it kind of started as because I stopped playing for a while. I had to tone down how much gear I had and everything, and sold the bass because I was like, I barely play it. But yeah, when I was in college and just fumigating myself, frickin', it was like a stoned project. I would just like go over to a buddy's house and be like, hey, can I play your bass? And he'd be like, yeah, sure. And that's how it started, and then stopped playing it for a while, and then quarantine came around, and I was like, I want to play the bass again. And yeah, what's the deal? But this thing's all funky.
So what? Bringing it to Homegrown here. Do you have any favorite Homegrown memories, or what's your favorite part about Homegrown in general?
I mean, just seeing all the really good acts put on just a killer show, because a lot of people don't come out regularly during the year because Homegrown's a big event, so it brings out a lot of people. So everybody like really is like, okay, it's Homegrown, we gotta get a tight set. Or they're the opposite spectrum where it's like, let's just get drunk and thrash on stage. And I've been both. And for the latter, I think my favorite memory, it's not like a good memory, but it's my favorite just because it's memorable. There's this dude, we were playing at the Blind Pig back when that was a place, with Paper Parlor, my old band I was in. And yeah, this dude just like started, I was like soloing up on the corner of the stage, being all energetic and shit. And he just starts like brushing my strings and like yelling, let me play, and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, and I like back off, I walk from the stage. And he like climbs up on the stage a little bit, really drunk, and then he like starts playing it again. So I just like jabbed at him, with the fretboard, and like, the crowd like kind of got him out of there, and that was good. And what I didn't realize is that moment got captured, and then there was a painting of it, or a picture of it at the Red Herring Lounge, like a year later. I was like, wow, I was so drunk. I forgot I did that.
Forgot you stabbed a guy with your guitar.
Yeah, I didn't stab him. It was self-defense if you think about it. But yeah, that's probably the best Homegrown memory.
Nice. Do you want to tell us anything about the song you're going to play for us today?
Yeah, I just wrote this song the other day because I was feeling pretty maudlin about the current affairs of the world and everything. Sometimes you just gotta play some feels. If I can fix this cable. 10 out of 10. Wonderful. Oh. Alright, I'll I haven't named the song yet, but placeholder Rainbow Wing. I don't know. It's about being sad and gay. And it was.
We'll put the bass in post.
Yeah, post. I could hide these rainbow wings. Maybe someday I could fly. What doctor can soothe my needs? When my heart is cliched and tired. I carol too much bitter, not enough sweet. Has left a poor woman of me. Oh, mercy.
got something in my head, I got something in my head, I got something in my head, and I'm dead, yeah. I got something in my head, I got something in my head, I got something in my head, boogeyman.
But I got an angel on the shoulder and a demon on the other, and they screaming at each other, neither one knows how to shudder. That's what happens, condemned to the dark. Hope you prepared for the fire, trying to smother the spark. My biological died before we ever knew the dry ice he left inside me. So now I'm just an oddity, loser, prodigal prodigy, son of philosophy, better than Galileo mixed with Socrates.
And it hurts. Make it stop now. And it hurts. Make it stop now.
I got something in my head, I got something in my head, I got something in my head, and I'm dead, yeah. I got something in my head, I got something in my head, I got something in my head, boogeyman, yeah.
When you permanently broken in depression, looking gorgeous, I saw romance and whores and aggression. Took the torture, cut the wrist and hold my fortress. Trumped the legend, gesture courtship, but she broke and poised the floor. Put the cushion, bit my morals, let it bleed. Clear my eyes, couldn't see. Sweet demise, let me be. Just a second, set it free. See the crack in me, sweet imperfection. Twist and break, make it scream. You ever been left alone with self? Don't let those demons free.
And it hurts. Make it stop now. And it hurts. Make it stop now.
I got something in my head, I got something in my head, I got something in my head, and I'm dead, yeah. I got something in my head, I got something in my head, I got something in my head, boogeyman, yeah.
right, I'm here with Kala Moira, and we're going to talk Homegrown. What else is there to talk about? So last year you organized the scavenger hunt after Homegrown was canceled. So I guess first I'd like to hear, I mean, how you felt when you heard that Homegrown was canceled, and then how you came up with the idea for this awesome scavenger hunt that happened.
Well, I mean, obviously I was disappointed when Homegrown was canceled, but I was also a little relieved. At the time, we had no idea what COVID was going to be. So there was a bunch of people talking about how it seemed premature, but we were starting to get an idea of what COVID-19 was, and it really was the best choice. So while we were all said it couldn't happen, I mean, it made the most sense. So I was disappointed but relieved. So, and then the idea for the Homegrown Scavenger Hunt comes from, have you ever heard of something called Gish Wishes?
No.
Okay, so that's something that Misha Collins, the actor that plays Castiel on Supernatural, he used to do this every year, where he called it like the greatest worldwide scavenger hunt or something like that. And he gives you this like huge list of tasks that have nothing to do with anything except they're fun. And, you know, Homegrown is obviously always fun. And I was thinking about, you know, well, what could we still all do while we're trying to stay, you know, as separate as possible, but still have a good time? And I was like, well, what if we took the idea of something like Gish Wishes and made it Homegrown related? And I'd run that idea past a few people. I have some friends on the committee, obviously. And then I was, and they thought it sounded okay. And so I started writing up this list. And then the next thing you know, I had 50 tasks. I was originally just going to do it with me and a couple of friends. And I was like, well, why not just open it up to whoever wants to participate? I mean, it's a giant festival and everybody's missing out. So we should let everybody participate that wants to.
That's awesome. How many tasks? There ended up being more than 50, or was it just 50?
I think it was like 53 was the final count.
Nice. And you came up with all those on your own, or did you kind of resource out ideas?
A few people, and I can't remember who, like I told people ideas and they're like, oh, well, you should do something like this. A lot of it came off of activities that I've done at Homegrown, activities I've seen people do at Homegrown. That's why there's so many shotgun a beer videos. And then a few of them are like, I mean, people say happy Homegrown like they say Merry Christmas. So some of those were like making it like a little Christmas in the springtime thing. And then when I was really scrounging, like thinking, okay, I need to come up with something, I just basically went and looked up cool scavenger hunt ideas on Google and then transferred some of them to make them more Homegrown related.
Nice. Well, it worked out really well. So let's see, how many teams of people ended up participating in that?
I don't have, do I have my little book?
I don't know.
Pause this real quick. I'm going to see if I have my little book. Hold on one second.
We can edit the shit out of this.
Found it.
Awesome.
All right. So. All right. 16 teams.
That's awesome. And they were all like 4, 5, 6 people, most of them. So that's great.
Most of them, like Sheila Wonders just did it by herself, and she straight up said from the beginning she wasn't playing to win, she was playing to have fun. And there were a couple that were just like a couple people. There was a few that were like pushing the limits, like tried to get in one more person than I made the limit.
Right.
And then this is actually a case, and this is how I tracked all the points. Anytime somebody would submit a thing in the Facebook event, because I did it all on Facebook, I just wrote like what task they did and then how many points they got, and then at the end I tallied it all.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of. It's super awesome though. Well, now which team had the most points, or which team won?
I'm sorry.
Remember.
Why? How is this relevant?
Just just people want a full recap. They want to
Feels
know.
like you're pushing for praise is what it feels like.
No, I just don't remember. But what do you think, like, what were your favorite challenges, or what do you think were the ones that were kind of best received out of there?
Well, my favorite challenge, my absolute favorite one, was the shotgun of beer, because it ended up making cameos in like all the other challenges.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Somehow somebody was shotgunning a beer in so many different videos. By the way, to go back, Look Good, Don't Die one, just so you can have your moment.
Name. Okay.
That was the team name.
Whatever.
So that one I liked. The one that I wish had gotten more participants was making a birthday card for Starfire, because that's the whole reason Homegrown exists. And I think a lot of people don't even realize that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it seems like an easy one too. Like, you can just sit down with a piece of paper and a pen and get a point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what so, and then after it was all done, that's how you came to be the owner of this blue jacket. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I did this because it was fun. I hit up some people for some gifts, which I still have to give out, but I haven't done that yet because it's COVID and I'm trying to stay separate. But I just did it because it was fun. It was a good time. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Melissa shows up at my work and hands me this beautiful blue Homegrown jacket, so I won't get confused with the red coats everywhere. And it says right there, unofficial member, because I have found that I'm a big fan of creating unofficial things for Homegrown. This is my third unofficial Homegrown activity. This just happens to be the one that's gotten the most traction.
Nice. That's awesome. And well-deserved, by the way.
Thank you.
So I guess just moving on from the scavenger hunt a little. So how many Homegrowns do you think you've been to, other than, I know you performed at somewhere recently, but how many do you think you attended before performing any?
So I'm 32. I've been coming to them since I was old enough to go to the bars. So that means if you count this last one that didn't actually exist, then I've been to 11.
Nice. Almost a dozen.
Yep.
That's great.
A decade of Homegrowns.
Yeah. A decade of decadence. So, and then you've got to, how many have you performed at then? Just the one?
Only the one.
The one?
I've always wanted to be in bands, but as a tuba player, your options are limited. So finally being able to participate in a band that has so many, like, I guess what you would call homegrown veterans, like they've been in so many other bands, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So
what was it like then for the first time, going from just somebody who attends to someone who also gets to perform for the first time?
Oh, I was losing my mind with nerves. Like, so not only was it my first Homegrown I was playing, but I was playing on new band night at Pizza Luce.
Big night.
Even if nobody liked my band, it was gonna be full because new band night at Pizza Luce is always packed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got up there, I was super nervous. All my other bandmates were like, it's really not that big a deal. It's fun, but you can calm down. And I'm like, no, I can't calm down. This is this. And then as soon as we were 2 songs in, the fangirling part died down and it was just a really good time. And I was really happy with how well we were received. Being a fan, you just get kind of overwhelmed by everything like going on around you and trying to plan things and make sure you get to see all your favorite bands. Actually being on stage and having a bunch of people see us for the first time, like not people that had seen us before, but just brand new to us. It made me really appreciate like how much Homegrown gives you a chance to see bands you probably would never have checked out before. So I had said it after that performance, and obviously the next one was canceled, but next Homegrown we're actually able to attend. I'm gonna go in, with the exception of like a few absolute favorites, I'm gonna go in totally like blind and just check out whatever I run into and hope that I find some cool new bands, because I think that's like the best way to go now.
Yeah. Well, you can't go wrong no matter how you go about it, but that's a good plan of attack. I'm sure you'll find something new. Hopefully it happens sooner than later. It's not 5 years from now or after the plague or whatever is going on. I mean, yeah, I guess other than that, do you have any other homegrown, since you've been to so many, I mean, do you have any very specific homegrown memories or stories you like to talk about or reflect on?
So I guess there's one of the most memorable is obviously the bratwurst show at Grandma's that nobody talks about anymore. And I mean, I guess some of the ones that always stick out in my brain are the ones that leave you with that like super after show like high, because the crowd's good, the music's good. And so like seeing Hannah Ray play at the Superior Flame was mint. Seeing the Horror play at the Duluth Flame was one of my favorite times. I'm pretty sure that one was Homegrown. I think that one was, yeah, I'm pretty sure that one was Homegrown. All come, like, it's hard when you regularly go to shows to remember all of what's homegrown and all of what's just spending time with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell you which specific Monster Mob show I went to that was homegrown or not homegrown, but I can tell you I loved all of them. Same thing with the Horror. Like the memories I hold closest usually involve the bands that don't exist anymore, and I'm just super thankful I got to see them while they existed.
Nice.
So, and then every kickball game I've ever been to ever.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Except for that year on Observation Hill when it was snowy and cold, and I could have done without that one.
That sounds gross. Well, yeah, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me today about all that. And hopefully we'll see you at the next Homegrown, whenever that is.
Well, when you see me at the next Homegrown, I'm doing the scavenger hunt again, and hopefully it'll be in person. So we're going to do a little mix of what we did last year, and then hopefully some new in-person stuff too.
Awesome. Love it. Well, thank you very much. You have a good night.
You too. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Stands and the hillsides surround. We'll ride the big city bus with you by my side. There's a whisper in the cloquet breeze, reminding me of my school days. That whisper builds and that whisper cries. School bus rides in the morning skies. Brushing that fluffy hair from your eyes. The city folk with their fancy gadgets capture water in gray tubes. Don't have nothing on our way of life. Just listen to the wind. Don't live your life like a couch potato. Just Today you might feel like a couch potato, but that ain't no way to lead a life. You know, there's a lot I drive by in that big bus. Folk who messing up, folk who doing right. Always stay happy, bro. Always stay happy. Look, hey, when I was a child, and I met a happy man. How can you be so happy, I asked. Here was his wise reply. Don't live your life like a couch potato. Today you might feel like a couch potato, but that ain't no way to lead a life. I met an old lady who lived like a couch potato. What happened to her? I asked. Here was his wise reprise. Don't live your life like a couch potato. Today you might feel like a couch potato. Don't live your life like a couch potato. Today you might feel like a couch potato, but that ain't no way to lead a life. That lady gone now. It's sad, really. Word is she had fluffy hair once. Little Bob, keep your jacket black. Always stay happy, Bob. Always stay happy. Just listen to the wind.